Hi, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. Welcome to Sisters of the Mystical Tarot with my wonderful co hosts, Allie from Heart and Soul Connected, then Sherry from Voices from the Swamp. Then underneath me is Allison from Aries Girl Tarot. And bringing up the rear is Val from Dragonfly Crystals. Hey, hey. And again, I forgot to turn the volume down. So, welcome everyone. I hope that you are having a great day and a great evening and all that good stuff. Thank you for those of you that are already here in the chat with us. That's fantastic. We've got Miss Tarot D. Hi, Miss Tarot D. Ness is here. We have Patty Fitzgerald, who is here. There's some lady named Sherry Voices from the Swamp. I don't know. I don't know about that one. And Simpson, Mousy Girl. And then there's Heart and Soul Connected. There we go. Oh, Pierrette. Hello, Pierrette. Mousy Girl. Oh, Carolyn Booker. Hey, Carolyn Booker. Laura Hammond Davis. Oil Painter, Martha Bean, Mary Thornberry, Samantha, Lisa. Okay, wow. Yay. Yeah, thank you, thank you for being here.
We got us a full house tonight.
We do too. Yeah, we do too. So the topic for today is how we go about sabotaging ourselves with our thoughts and our actions. Mm-hmm. And this kind of it came to me the other day. I was at the local convenience store waiting in line with my pumpkin spice latte and the fellow in front of me was buying lottery tickets. And he told the girl behind the counter what he wanted. And, he's going to play the extra. And she gave him the ticket. And he went, thanks. There goes nothing. And I thought, you're absolutely right. There goes nothing. So, here you put your hopes and your dreams and whatever into buying this lottery ticket because you think it's going to enhance your life. And then as you are handed that opportunity, you say, there goes nothing. Mm-hmm. Yep. And it just reminded me that we do tend to do that in our own lives sometimes without realizing it. And just how important the words that we say, and especially the ones we say out loud, how important those words are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, Allie, you had mentioned that this is, it's part of the archetypes, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It really is. And we all, there's a book that Carolyn Mace had written a number of years ago that it talks about all different kinds of archetypes. But the Saboteur is one of them. It's one of our shadow archetypes.
Yep.
But we all, if we looked at all of our archetypes, we'd still have to put that in as well, because we do sabotage ourselves a lot of the time subconsciously.
Yeah.
But, if you know about it, it makes it much easier, at least to think about it. For instance, if you're not supposed to say anything after I am should be good, not like I am ill or I am sick or I have this disease, or because you're claiming it and you're sabotaging. Instead, I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise, that kind of thing. Yep. But when I first read that book and went through all of those things, both my husband and I, of course, you can recognize it much, much easier in somebody else than you can in yourself. And I would recognize that my husband would start a project and get really excited about it. And when it didn't take off, then he'd start another project. And that whole thing, it would be sabotaged in a lot of ways. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying I haven't done something like that myself,
Yeah.
or I have, because everybody has. But I think we can see it much, much easier when we're
Yes.
looking at somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay, Miss Taro D. You just go ahead and listen. It's
Yeah.
okay.
We're glad to see you, Miss Taro D. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, are you? Can you think of any ways that you can help someone else identify when they're doing those?
That kind of work.
When
Yeah.
when they're part of that archetype, like the for those of you that don't understand what the archetype is, it goes back to Carl Jung, and it actually goes back even further than that. In pretty much every single society in the world, there are certain characteristics
Yep.
that
And
are
patterns.
similar.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. Like you've got the innocent, the maiden, right?
Yep.
There's the caregiver, the mother. We've got the sage.
We've got them all
wise.
in the tarot cards too, if you think
We
about
do
it.
too.
They all are in
Absolutely.
there. Yeah. The
Yeah.
miser, you've got the miser, you've got the bitchy mother-in-law.
Everybody.
It's all there. Yeah. Yeah, it is there.
The mistress, the mystic, the queen, the lover. Yeah,
Yep.
they're all in
Absolutely.
there. So yeah. Welcome,
So-
Maggie.
Maggie who?
Maggie who? First time here. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah. That's
Hey,
fabulous.
Valerie. Yes.
Yeah. Hi,
So-
Valerie. Hi, Juanita. Fatima. Yeah, so I guess the best way to recognize it is to know that when we do this to ourselves, we set ourselves up for failure because we want to be right.
Yeah.
So we can say, I told you so.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing to move past. We don't, if you have to do something to be right that sets you up for failure, that's already not a very good pattern to start formulating. You want to know that, and everybody has their times when they say, oh, gee, I can't do that, or I don't know how. And I think I did that in college when I went the first time. I was told I was really stupid in math and that I would never succeed by my fourth grade teacher. And so I owned it. And I sabotaged myself for all of eternity in a lot of ways, because it took me forever to pass my college math class. I had to take it separately because I was just told, and I got a C and I was thrilled. So, yeah. So, but it was my own, he sabotaged me, but I took it and owned it. And I didn't need to do that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And how about you, Sherry?
Where to start? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a younger girl and woman, I had very low self-esteem. A lot of that was due to extended family issues that we don't have the time or wherewithal to go into now. But needless to say, I saw myself in a very negative way. And so I never talked positively about myself. I never looked in the mirror and thought, oh, I look nice today.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I like the way my hair looks today. Or I like the way I did my makeup today. It was always finding fault. And it wasn't until I got into high school that a couple of my girlfriends would point out, why do you say that? You're very pretty, or your hair looks great today, or whatever the case was. And it took a long time to start believing what they were saying to me, because it's so easy to believe the negative.
Yeah.
Especially when you hear it from a young age. And even as I got older, and I would gain weight and I would make the comment of, oh yeah, I'll never lose weight. I'll always be fat. It's like, well, yeah, look at me now.
Yeah.
Because I keep telling myself, yeah, I'll never lose weight. I'll always be fat. I still catch myself doing that. Or today, I went to freshen up my makeup with, oh my God, my eyebrows are turning white. It just floored me. It was like, oh no. And then I started laughing about it. And I thought, who cares what color my eyebrows are but
Yeah.
me? That nobody else gives a flying flip. So, but I mean, jobs that I wanted to get that I would go and apply for. And then the minute I would leave, I would make the comment, yeah, they'll never hire me, or they'll never offer me the salary I want, or, just whatever
Yeah.
the case may be. And math, I took math 4 times in college before I got through with a C. And then the semester after I got the C, they lowered it. You could pass with a D. I was like, you had to do now after I.
It's all
Yeah.
right, Sherry. We're twins on that one, and good for you, girl. You got it done.
That's
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
mean, me and algebra don't compute. And I've never
Absolutely.
had to use it since. So that's a lie when they say you'll use it in your later years. No,
Mhm.
not unless you're
Not
an engineer or
anymore.
something.
Yeah.
You
So,
know, but I just, and it's funny because I can pick it up when someone else is derogatory to themselves. I can
yeah.
pick it up really fast and point it out. Well, don't say that. That's a terrible thing to say. But I catch myself doing it all the time.
Yeah.
This week I started when I go on my lunch break at work. I started doing a daily affirmation of reading one card and then giving the little three or 1 or 2 sentences to go with it. Anything under a minute, pop it on my shorts. And I can't tell you how many responses I've gotten for people, and some that I've never even heard of before, saying, "Thank you. That's just what I needed to hear today." It was like, okay, I guess I came up with a good idea. So, because I did it for myself, and then I thought, well, maybe I'll just, grab the phone and do a little 60-second video and
Yeah.
do the affirmation for the day. And so far,
Those are
everybody really
really,
seems to
those
love
are
it.
so popular because people need that boost every day. Some people are
And
really needing it. So that was
and
so
you
good.
don't realize,
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, you don't realize how many people live in that negative space. And like I said, I started doing it Monday. Today's Wednesday. I've made 3 little 1-minute recordings. And the amount of people that have responded back, like I said, some people I've never even heard of. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they saw it and they
Yeah.
responded, thank you for this. And so, I've been, and then of course, Marina sent the email out. And I was like, okay, this must be why Spirit had me start this,
Yeah.
because she's going to bring to mind everything that I've always been guilty of doing for myself,
Mhm.
and had me start to do something ahead of the fact to make a difference
Yeah.
on it.
Exactly.
And
Yeah. That works. And how about you, Allison?
The email, I'm just trying to recall the email you're saying things that we do to unknowingly or knowingly sabotage what we're trying to manifest. Is that what it was?
Well, either what you're
Happiness.
trying to manifest or what you're trying to do. And sometimes it's, I'll give you an example. I make up my mind that I'm going to start a diet on Monday. Monday it starts. Sunday, as I'm picking up groceries, I grab some cookies and some chocolate bars and a bag of chips, and go home, and
guilty.
now here it is. I'm surrounded by this. So, well, okay, maybe I'll start on Wednesday or Friday. And that
Right.
is subconsciously sabotaging what you set out to do by,
Or consciously, because it's right in front of you.
or consciously. Yeah.
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 No, I get it. I was just clarifying. So mine's different, of course, because mine's always different. I don't do this to negative self-talk. I've never done that, thankfully, because the way I am, I can only imagine. So at least I don't ever do that. But something that I did used to do a lot of, and I still probably do here and there a little bit, but it's gotten way better. I went through a lot about 10 to 15 years ago, like in that whole time frame. And it left me with a lot of anxiety. And what I used to do was I would worry about things that I didn't want to happen. So that's just as bad, if not worse. Having anxiety and worrying and basically manifesting what you don't want. However, I was also at the same time in touch with, my archangels and everything else. So I think they was looking over me because nothing really ended up happening, thank God. But it definitely could have if I hadn't been so counteracting with other things that I was doing. My point is concentrating and focusing on something that you don't want. That's, to me, would be an answer to what you're asking.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and I've gotten very much away from that. But I've certainly done a lot of work on it. So, and also my life looks way, 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 way different than it did. And I've also cleaned up a lot of things that happened to me as a result of my divorce and everything else, the ripple effect from all of that. So, yeah, that's what I would say. And as far as negative talk, I always notice it when people do that. And me being me, I will just say it. Be like, you should not say that. That's terrible. You shouldn't say that. And it is terrible. And maybe some would say, oh, you shouldn't even say that it's terrible. Well, it is terrible. I have somebody that's in my life right now, and he's thankfully stopped doing it. He'll say something that he thinks is foolish or silly or whatever. And he'll go, oh, I'm so stupid. Stop saying that. Yeah. You're a grown man. My God. It's like, why are you saying that? It's like, and what rock have you been living under? Excuse me, guys, but that you don't know that you shouldn't say that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Have you not one spiritual friend in any direction? How could you not?
Who hasn't told you?
Right?
Yeah.
Or saying, oh, I'm
belief.
so, whatever about your appearance or whatever. It's like, really? Come on.
Yeah.
And it's bad enough if they're thinking it, but I like it when they go ahead and just say it out loud. If they're in my earshot, I'd be like, you shouldn't say that. I mean, it depends on who it is, how much Allison they're going to get. But it's, and it's especially if you completely know it's not true. Like this person that says this about stupid, the guy is definitely not stupid. It's like, and even if he was, I tell him not to say that. Yeah. But anyhow, that would be my answer to that. So, and great topic, by the way.
Thank you. And it's absolutely true that when sometimes I like to see the expression on the other person's face when you question them, like, okay, why would you say that about yourself? And they don't even realize they're doing it. It's so much part of that soundtrack in their head. They don't even know they're doing it until it's
non-spiritual people probably don't know.
Yeah. And how about you, Val?
Well, it's funny. Everything that we're discussing and that all of you have touched on is what we're doing in the Divine Complement class that I'm holding on Saturday. It is about forgiveness, releasing, which is letting go, healing, and allowing. And all those things are covered where we have that negative mind script from the time when you were a little kid and your dad said, do you have to do it that way? That's just stupid or whatever, however many things you've got built up, all those layers.
Yes, 1970s parenting.
That don't allow you to love yourself, the real self, the soul self, not the 3D layered mind script ego stuff. So clearing all that away. But anyway, what I was going to say is growing up, I am no stranger to all those negative things that were said to me, but I happen to be an extremely big optimist. And I have a good outlook about myself, probably because my mother was very spiritual and high-minded, and she wouldn't allow any of that negative mind script, just like Allison was pointing out. She'd go, don't say that. We got trained, not what you say out loud and how you think about yourself directly affects how you show up in the world and how people value you, not just how you value yourself. So I, like Allison, did lots of work on it, lots and lots of work through all these years. And I don't really have a negative mind script about myself. If I did have anything, it would be one or two crumbs of self-limiting doubt about, oh, I'm doing this class. Am I going to do it right?
Human.
It would be so subtle that I might not notice
Yeah.
that I do. You know, I'm in the now moment and I'm going, what? No.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, these things can be so subtle after you've weeded out all the other
Yes.
big ones that you
Mhm.
don't even realize what
True. Yeah. Yeah.
it can catch you. But yeah, they're real. You got to weed them out. You got to work on it. And it's a real thing. So yeah.
It is when you first become conscious of the power that your words have.
Yeah.
And
One other thing, Marina, I'm sorry. I just want to say this is one thing I wanted to make a point of, and that is that what your happiness is something you choose each day.
Yes.
Your happiness
Yes.
is not because X, Y, and Z happened.
Yeah.
And so don't go south with your mood because, oh, my car door didn't open right, or my this or my that. No.
I
Those
choose
things
happy.
don't make you happy. You just, happiness is a
Exactly.
decision.
Yes, it is.
Exactly.
Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Allison and Allie, for supporting that. I'm done, Marina.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. So yeah, that was kind of my take on a lot of this, and particularly when yeah, I looked at it from the perspective of the archetype, like Ali said, and how it is so true that, you know, as we go through life, we deal with each one of these archetypes and have to come to terms with them
You do.
and have
I like
to
what
have to develop a relationship with them and an acceptance, even of the ones that, you know, like yeah, I think there's four basic groups that someone talked about, and it was the child, the victim, the prostitute, and the saboteur.
Right.
So, you know, we all go through them, and
We
when you
do.
look at the list, you think prostitute.
Yep.
That's not. I've never done that in
Yeah,
my life.
people
You're selling
I'll do
yourself
X to get Z,
for
or
something.
you know,
And
it shows
victim.
up.
I like what Miss Carol D said. She said that men do it too. They just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, men are even harder on themselves.
You're
than
selling
women
yourself for
are
your
in
job.
a lot of
What
aspects.
the job you have, especially as a man who thinks his career is everything.
Yeah,
That's
everything.
his identity. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So maybe it would be worth it to talk a little bit about what to do if you are around people that are critical all the time. Because I know there's some people, I can't be with them for very long. I get really,
Yes.
you know, you feel like you're constantly
No.
saying to them, you know, like I
Yeah.
had a person I would go to lunch with, and she would say, oh, this lemonade is to die for. And I said, really? Would you die for lemonade? You know,
Yeah.
you got to be so careful with the
Yeah.
way you
Yeah.
word things,
Yeah.
you know? So,
exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It brings
Yeah.
to mind an incident once, and this is years ago, and I'd really forgotten about it until Allison said something about don't be stupid or don't act stupid, and people take that to mean that they're stupid.
Mhm.
And I remember hearing a woman say something similar to her little boy, little girl, I don't remember now which one. And they said, the child responded with, well, I'm just stupid, I know. And the mother stopped in her tracks and said, I didn't say you were stupid. I said your action was stupid.
It's a judgment,
And that
though,
was,
and a judgment
Even
feels
that
like
shouldn't
they're
be said to
saying
a
you're
child.
and even though she said it that way, it still hit me with, but that child is still taking it in that what
Yep.
they do is stupid, you
Yeah.
know, instead of
Yes.
saying, you know, it's just as devastating as being told you're stupid.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a situation where if I say something to a certain person in my life, what I think, and then they only hear that they are an a-hole.
Yeah.
And I never ever have said it, and I never would ever say it. But it's
That's
like
that's not on you. That's
that's
on
a
them.
defense mechanism.
That's
Yeah,
on them.
definitely.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
you get tired of hearing it. It's like,
Yeah.
are you really listening? No, you're not listening. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Leah is absolutely right. The body
Yep.
seems to take on the guilt. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's our thoughts, where we put our intention, absolutely manifests itself in our body.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know, like the
Correct.
Allison can absolutely speak to that. I mean, she's got years and years of experience with.
And I'm just saying, it's just a direct. I mean, there's even some sort, I don't know what it's called, but I guess apparently recently there's some sort of a test out there that it's not mainstream medicine, of course, but where it shows when you have a thought, where in your body it's affecting, whether it's your gut, your breath, your whatever, right? This negative, even positive stuff, but like where, and people that are on a loop with negative about a certain thing, it just keeps hitting that area of the body over and over, and then XYZ.
Absolutely. And it's I still every once in a while get backaches, but for a while there, they were chronic back pain, chronic all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working through all kinds of different things. And it took a little while to realize that, okay, your back hurts because you're afraid to go forward. You're afraid to make a decision and just go out there and do something, go forward. Why don't you give it a try? What's the worst that could happen? You'll end up with back pain. So what? And it's funny that as I was, moving to, towards taking chances, taking risk, and all that, I can say I haven't had, chronic back pain. Every once in a while, it does come up, and now I know that it comes up when I do silly, stupid things like bend a certain way that my body should not be bending.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. And there's, people who constantly have sore throats. Why is that?
Or more serious throat issues. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Or heart issues, or
not saying their truth, not speaking up for themselves, talking small, feeling small, being not. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. So, that's.
Can I share something?
Of course.
I'll be quick. There's somebody in my life currently, and this person will not be seeing this. So I'll go ahead and say, even though I'm not going to name. And it's interesting. This is somebody I have not known for very long. And Val, you may know who I'm talking about. But anyhow, this person has had chronic back issues for years. Like bad.
Yeah.
And has had multiple surgeries and all that. And my beliefs about all of that, I'll just leave that out of it. Regardless, this person has done these things, right? Now, there's no choice but to go that direction because so much hardware and stuff has been done that's the only way you can go. So anyways, getting to know more about this person, The childhood stuff, whoa. Whoa. And so when you read about the spine, I'll just say specifically like Louise Hay, where she breaks down the spine and the different parts of the vertebra, cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and within those areas, what's going on.
Right.
Very, very interesting. Absolute direct correlation.
Stuff back there, she says. Stuff back there.
That too, but it gets way more.
Oh, I know.
Like where and what part of the life, and it's amazing. That's the biggest example I've ever seen in a person. So, and this person's having their hopefully final surgery here in a few months, and is finally for the first time ever going to get some therapy. And I will take credit for that with pressure. But you've got to get some therapy.
Amen.
Yeah.
Please. And and I think it'll be really, really good. But anyways, that's like the biggest example I've seen of life experience and thoughts manifest in the body, which thankfully not a disease, but it's just as debilitating, right?
Yep.
So we need our backs, we need our hips.
Yeah.
We need our eyes, all these things that break down and that people have serious problems with them. And it's like, wow, some stuff you can get around, right? You got a bad, whatever, arthritis in your toe or, whatever, but like your spine, you need your spine. Yeah. You really need
those things.
It is kind of important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And other things that are very vital. So, but anyways, I had to share that. I hope that wasn't too long.
Nope. That was good.
I'm glad you did, because it's very true, and it just might, trigger someone else to take a look and at least make the connection between the two, right?
As someone who lives in constant chronic pain since 1999, when I was injured, I've done a lot of work with trying to clear it when I first started learning about a lot of emotional stuff can affect you physically. And so I've spent quite a few years working on it. And in some respects, it's helped tremendously with some things. And in other things, just the physical damage was so much that it didn't really make a difference until I did something physical to deal with it, like surgeries. Yeah. But it can make, if I'm having a really bad day and I'm really down on myself, the pain level through the roof, as opposed to days when I'm feeling good about myself and what's going on and surroundings. And it's still there, but I don't notice it as greatly.
Yeah.
And back issues are so common. So many people have back problems. And if you look at old, like bodies that they have and they do scientific, whatever, this, that, whatever, that didn't happen years and years and years ago. It just didn't. Lots of things didn't. It's just, actually, I'm not going to go down that road, but it's very interesting.
It is. My husband can always tell when he works on a gymnast, when he does adjustments on a gymnast, because their spines are usually curved. And when they were doing their work, tumbling and doing all that crap, they were in their formative years, and they really destroyed
too young, too small.
Yeah.
They have a lot of calcium problems.
Banging,
Osteoporosis. They have a lot of
decompression like crazy.
Absolutely. So you know what? I think what Ali said earlier is, maybe definitely worth kind of looking into is, how do you individually look or deal with someone who is, who is into that negative self-thought, whether they're aware of it or not.
It's hard to be around people like that. Just like Ali said, you can hardly stand it for very long.
Yes.
Just stay a little while and then, I gotta go.
You can't wait to get out of there.
Say something positive, recommend a good book, and be like, look at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have a friend that I love dearly, but to spend time with her is just, she's like an
Energy. Some are energy
vampire.
vampires, though. They want your
Drain
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
down.
Punch that out of you. I mean,
Sponge.
you know,
Yep.
30 minutes and I'm exhausted. And
Yep.
and she's
I put up a mirror.
she has to be the most
Mhm.
negative person I think I've ever met in my life.
Yep, there's
And
a lot
just
of them out there.
constantly beating
can't
on
do it.
herself, you know, and it got to where I kind of quit hanging or talking to her that much just because it got to be too much. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
10
know.
minutes with them is like 2 hours
Bye,
with
gotta
somebody
go.
else. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I
Not in a
When,
mean way, just it's
Yeah, no, I
it's
mean,
taking care of.
you just,
I'm unapologetic about it's like, bye. You got to take care of you.
you really
Wish
do.
them well, tell
And-
them something helpful, and
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
nothing wrong with that.
No.
I in my career when I was in sales, one of the things that that I did and that I encouraged the teams I was on was to put up a little mirror, and that was by your phone, by your monitor, wherever. Put up a little mirror, and there was 2 reasons for that. Number 1 is if you look at yourself before you make a phone call, you can put a smile on your face because that definitely comes through the line.
It does. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
You can hear when someone is being pleasant. The other reason that I would say that was yes, because there would be certain people in the office. It's a rule. Every office has to have one. It's in the contract. That just no matter what happens, it's like they're Eeyore, right? Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, the mirror, it acts as it should, as a mirror, and it deflects that energy right back to them. Don't bring that around me. Don't bring that around my space.
And have
Right.
you ever noticed those people are so heavy? Their energy is so heavy.
Yes.
It's hard to be
Yes.
in their aura space because it feels
Yes.
so, oh gosh, you really, it's not comfortable.
I work
Yeah.
around a bunch of people like that, but I don't go into the office very often. This will
Yeah.
be very quick. I go in very rarely. And so those of you that don't know, I'm a school bus driver. So we're able to clock in outside, go to our route, come back, clock, leave,
Yeah.
right? Anyways, but occasionally there's a time that you might need to go into the office about something. There's a lunchroom in there, and a lot of people hang out there between their shifts and whatever. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but a lot of people like to, and they socialize and everything else. I am so sensitive. I cannot be in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll go in and I don't know. It depends on how I'm feeling. Right. If I'm having a very light filled day, as long as I'm in and out, I'm good.
Yeah.
I can go, what I can do, and I've done this in the past, and I used to do it all the time. I pictured one of those glass Christmas ornaments, the bulb,
Yeah.
and I just put one all the way around me. Everything deflects off of me. It works beautifully.
Oh yeah, it can work. Absolutely.
So boom, it just bounces right back to
Yep.
you. Right. And,
Mhm.
yeah, I just wanted to share that. So,
Yep, that
but
was
yeah,
good.
that's an environment. It's like, no.
Mm-mm. And it's a lot of people with that kind of.
Oh yeah, and I have it's so funny how your presence can be triggering for
Yes.
certain
Yes.
people.
Yes.
And so I just don't even, and I'm always friendly and nice as well.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
And so, but anyways, on the occasion I have to go in, I do that, and it works great. So if any of you listening or here that have never tried that, for me, it works great. So, and I just asked my spirit team, mirrors, just put up a mirror, it deflects everything back, and it works really well.
It does.
Yes.
It is important. It is important. Mary Thornberry brought this up. It is important that some are truly depressed, some are angry, and some know no other way. So yes, I recognize that
We
there
are
people
compassionate for them, but we don't
Right.
have to be around
Nope.
them to drain our
Nope.
energy, because that's our self-care. That's
Of
our
course,
right.
boundary to create the space where we can maintain our good energy level.
And I've worked too
It's our
hard and come too far
responsibility.
to
Right.
suck up anybody's. No, not doing
You
that.
have your responsibility to
Yeah.
balance
No, I
and
agree.
manage your
I agree
energy.
with that.
Yeah.
It's just like being around an energy vampire. I mean, just
That is what it is.
you know, you
Yeah.
have to be able to recognize these people so that when they come into your orbit, you know,
Get the heck
you
out of
can
Dodge.
you know,
Fast.
But
shields
if
up.
it's your family,
You know.
that's really, really hard.
That is hard.
Because
It is.
My
it's
my
that much
husband's
harder.
kids will call him on the phone and say, I need your, your advice. I really need, and every single thing that this particular child is not a child, but in their 30s, but they would say, no, I can't do that. No, I don't read. No, I don't want this. No, 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 no. And it's like, all right, then he'll say, don't call me if you don't have to go with everything, but you don't have to be negative. Then she'll call back and do the same thing. It's like an it just keeps going, and it wears him out. It really, and I don't blame him,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
when it's your
my
kids,
family's
it's
doing
hard
this
not
all
to
now.
answer the phone, even if they're adults,
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
Sometimes I used to have one of the bosses that I worked with who was just a super, super excellent boss, but just an all around nice person. And his way of sometimes dealing with negative people is as they would start to get in on telling their story or, poor me, this is what happened. He would say, no, no, stop right there. Do you need a hug? Can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
When, when
my husband does that.
when
does
someone gives you a hug, it's hard to be negative. It's hard to
It
be
really
angry.
takes the
I can't
whole
hug anybody
thing out
though.
of the whole zest out of it. When some
You know, my mother worked in
energy
retail, and
shifter.
Plus, you can't hug people these
she-
days, so that's out. But back
Well,
in the day,
yeah.
that's true.
You're
You can
very
ask.
My
true.
mother,
You can ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is
my
that.
mother worked in retail just about most of her life, and she enjoyed it because she enjoyed interacting with people.
Yeah.
And she worked for Joann's for like the last 20 years she was alive, and which was right up her alley because she sewed and she quilted and all that stuff. But she would walk around the store with a big bag of chocolate Hershey's cookie kisses in her apron pocket. And as people would come into the store, she would just, if they looked a little down or upset walking in the door, she would greet them with, "Hi, would you like a kiss?" And then she'd hold one out in her hand. And you would see the mood in that person go from here to here, all because this white haired lady
They
would
got
say,
some
"Would you like a
attention
kiss?"
and they could
And,
have some
and they
yum-yums.
Exactly.
and she gave him a chocolate, or she would just come up and hug on people. I mean, there wasn't anywhere in town you could go where if somebody spotted her, they didn't immediately come over to her and want to hug her because that's just the kind of person she was, and she had her down days and her bad times and whatnot, but she worked her way through it. That by the time we were grown with our own families, she was pretty much cruising right along,
Yeah.
just took life as it came, and what happened, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
And she stayed pretty damn positive about it. The dementia stole that from her, but there were still little snippets here and there when she would pop through, and that was always nice to see. But it became our job to do it in reverse to try to boost her up, especially in the earlier days when she knew what was happening to her.
Yeah.
And it was really hard then. So, we also have to take that into consideration. Some people may be dealing with a mental illness or a physical ailment that just supersedes everything else, and so that's where I think just keep being positive to people,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it
Absolutely.
can make all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
All righty, ladies, we are at 44 minutes. And we do have a couple questions that we can get to.
Okay.
If and you don't mind.
We don't mind.
Mm.
I was going to suggest a card for the collective if we didn't have any questions, but I'm glad you have some questions. Okay.
Yes, and you know what? We will do a card for the collective because I think that the message that we have sent out might feel a little heavy to some people. So we'll give them,
True that. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so this one comes from Love Above One Source, and it's a two-parter. And I'm going to show the second. Yeah. What should I be doing to be my very best over the next 6 months, or any timeline you wish to reveal? Well, I think one.
Who is this for?
This is for.
One love above source.
Yeah, one love.
Thank you.
Oops. I'll be right back. Dropped something. Okay. Yeah. To be your very best self. You know what? I think to be your very best self, just show up every single day. Just show up every day.
Mhm.
Do what you can for as many people as you can. And yeah, just be happy.
Be happy.
Follow your gut. Follow your heart. But
All right, so I got this one here, and this is a beautiful woman who is pointing in the direction in front of her. She's got all this energy all around her, and it says that spend some time in solitude. It's sometimes solitude can seem like loneliness, but it really is the place that can refresh us and recharge us. So I would suggest a balance of whatever it is you do on the outside with that refresh and that solitude that gives you time to reflect on what it is that you want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
I
Sherry?
drew from Divine Abundance.
Mm.
And it says inner power.
Mm.
And it simply says, give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. And I think that's true regardless of what it is, whether if it's an emotional thing or a physical thing or whatever. We all have that inner power. And, you know, part of that, what Allie was talking about, that getting by yourself, that alone time, that's when you can really work on this and strengthen yourself.
Yeah, totally. And Val?
Okay, so in light of what we were talking about,
Good.
Carol Lynn Mace archetypes, and what I got is it's about, you can hardly see it, the damsel, which is really about, I'll tell you, it's about standing in your own power and relying on yourself. And don't be the damsel in distress where, you know,
Yes.
you want to stand in that power. And it's about relying on yourself and being healthy in romantic relationships where you are equal partners. You have that balanced masculine and feminine within you, where you have that power to go out in the world and the power to be receptive and nurturing. So balance that within you, and all your relationships will be fantastic after that. But that's what they have given you today.
Excellent. Perfect. And how about you, Allison?
I got two cards actually. I know we're only playing one, but I did get two. But I got Serenity, which is very much like what Allie was talking about. This very much means the same thing. This is about getting some time, downtime for yourself in solitude, being alone, quiet time. So, you know, I don't know if you have a busy schedule or maybe you got one of those busy minds or whatever, but the message here is about serenity. And I also got unity. And this card I've pulled many times on lives. This unity card is similar to what Val was talking about. Not exactly the same, but there's a similarity here in the sense of this is very much like namaste, right? This is recognizing the light and the spirit and others, and that we're all of one. These are all sisters. These are witches, but you know, you can apply this just to people in general, you know, anybody who carries a soul around. But it's about unity. So I take it that this is very much about getting downtime for you, connecting with you and what is, good and true and real for you, but then also, the group aspect of doing that. Getting back to what's most important really is what I'm getting out of this. That's what could be what you should be doing to be in your very best. So
Perfect. And just to round it all off, I pulled from the Clarity Tarot deck, and I got the Fool, and it just kind of brings everything together. Don't be afraid to take a chance. Believe that whatever happens, the universe is going to support you and take care of you. And make your decisions as if they have already happened. Not they're going to, but they have already happened. So I think it's, what everybody said is take your time, think about what's important to you, follow your intuition, and don't be afraid to take a risk. That's it. So,
and I had the adventure card that tried to come out, which is very similar with the Fool.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to say, Karen Doyle, we unfortunately we don't take questions from the chat. However, what you can do is on Saturday, if you check our individual channels, we will put up a thumbnail on our community board, and that's where we ask for questions for that we can read on Wednesdays. So that's how we do that. So just go on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Just go to our individual community YouTube channels, click on the community tab, and you'll see it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're more than welcome, Karen. Yes, you know what? Sometimes we forget, and for new people that are coming in, how do you know what you don't know? So there you go. That's what it is. Okay. Now, I think if I remember correctly, I think that Sherry, I think you had a question.
Oh, I just had a question from Cat Mama. You said, "Do you all still love me?" He's like, "Well, yeah," but then I thought, of course we do. But then I thought, yeah,
Hummingbird spirit. There you go. Happiness, Cat Mama.
Oh. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So shall we do a card for the collective?
Yes, absolutely. All right. I'm going to put this away, and I'm going to choose choose an oracle. Okay. Bug Bewitch says, yeah, since I was late, can you stay a little later? Nice try. Nice try.
I love what Claudia put below her.
You mean Amanda?
What Amanda put about Claudia below her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Claudia is just, she's just lovely. Okay. Go, Allie, if you've got a card, go.
I pulled from the fabulous Healing Waters deck, which I don't use very often, but it's just so beautiful. And I got the King Tide, which is plenty, prosperity, and receiving the fullness of life. And so, just think about the beauty that we have around us. We don't realize that we have everything we need. We may not have everything we want, but the plenty could be love. It could be, we have a roof over our heads and so on and so forth. And so it's the gratitude for the life that we have, and we'll receive the fullness of life through it. So thank you.
Absolutely. Sherry?
And I pulled from the Work Your Light Oracle, Sisterhood of the Rose.
Ooh.
Nice.
And it says beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. And that's what we've all been talking about tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that very thing.
Very true.
Yep, absolutely. Val?
Okay. I also pulled from the healing water oracle, and I got this is the rainbow. Know if you can see it. It's about sweet relief, new beginnings, and a way forward. And it says there are countless myths from all corners of the world that feature rainbows. In most cases, the rainbows symbolize a bridge between heaven and earth, and is a sign of good fortune. So,
Wonderful.
yay,
Yeah.
it's coming.
And Allison?
I pulled from the Literary Witches Oracle, and I pulled book. And this is about hope, revelation. It also can be ignorance. So apply it, where that makes sense. But I'm feeling like it's probably more about hope. Being hopeful about a situation that may seem, like it's either not possible or something's looking, more, negative, or having a pessimistic attitude. This is just a reminder to be hopeful, and maybe being ignorant to something about the situation, right? Maybe there's something you're not seeing. Having that revelation, right? So, but anyways, if anybody's interested in something a little bit different, I'm really enjoying this deck. Yeah, it's called the Literary Witch. So, but that's what I pulled.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. And from the Gateway of Light activation, I got Star Gathering. And
Like that.
yeah, just like a big hug from the universe. And the message on the bottom is star alignment, remembering home, and soul family. So I think that, for the collective is remember where you come from. Remember that you are bigger than just your memories at this point. You are vast and knowledgeable in so many different ways. So, and like I said earlier, rely on the universe to take care of you, because it always will. Rely on each other, because that's how we're all connected, right? And we are all connected. Absolutely. So yeah, take care of your soul family. And just remember, when you go out, if you do go out tonight, look up at the stars and just wave to home. Say hi, home. So
Can I add something real quick?
Absolutely.
Linda G is having surgery tomorrow, so just ask a little extra prayer from everyone tonight or tomorrow, whenever you think about it and have time. Just to wrap her up in protection. She means a lot to so many of us, because she was kind of the front runner of all of this,
Yeah.
was why so many of us got into this, was watching her. So I just yeah. Just
Thank you,
everybody just
Sherry.
wrap her up in some love.
Absolutely.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So to all of you that have joined us, that were here with us, thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to any of the channels that you are not currently subscribed to. It really helps with the algorithm. And one of the benefits of being a subscriber is it gets our individual channels as well as collective channels out and to be exposed to a lot more people. And the more people that hear the message, the more people can resonate with it, the more people can come in the room and share this wonderful energy with us. So don't forget to do that. Ladies, thank you, as always, for participating. I love knowing that you're here. And who is it? I'm going to tell you who it is next week. Allison.
Already. Wow. That went
I
quick.
know. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, it went by really fast.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. Take care. Be well. And we'll see you soon. Bye.